the most amount of videos. I think we put out 400 videos in 4 months so far on the channel. I'll bet you more than 10% of it is regarding what? U.S. national debt. Ding, ding, ding. Where are we today? I think either today or this weekend, for sure. We're hitting 36 trillion with a T dollars in national debt. It's going up every 100 days. $1 trillion every 100 days. So count 100 days from today. In 100 days, we'll be at 37 trillion. And that's accelerating because the duration is getting shorter because the interest we're paying on that is also going through the roof. We are paying $1.2 trillion in interest on all that debt per year. Can't we just take that 1.2 trillion and do some good in this country before we can ship the hundreds of billions all over the globe for some war or something? Again, this is not political. I hope Trump and his team do something with that 36 trillion. But there is talk that there's a couple of senators in the Senate who are very Bitcoin friendly or crypto friendly. But when I talk crypto, I usually don't talk about anything else other than Bitcoin, because that's the one I believe in. Because everything else, just, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you may go up 400 or 500%, but then you're going to end up holding the bag if you don't take profits. For example, Dogecoin has gone from, like, I don't know, 12 cents to 40 cents. I'm like, great, yeah, a lot more than Bitcoin. But then Dogecoin, will go back to 40 cents, from 40 to 12 if you don't take profits. Bitcoin will not do that on you. Anyway, there is talk that the adoption of Bitcoin as a treasury asset, just like I said on the first segment, not as a corporate asset, but as a treasury asset, may actually solve some, not all, because we need control of the spending. Before we even think of lowering this 36 trillion train that's out of control, going full speed somewhere, nowhere good, by the way, is we need to halt that. We need to just, before we start thinking of reducing it, we need to stop this madness, okay? And hopefully Doge, Department of Government Efficiency with Elon and Vivek, hopefully, I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully they can do something about it. But so will Bitcoin actually save the U.S. economy and lower the national debt? Well, I saw something that kind of caught my eye. I read quite a bit. And then thanks to Google feeds me, because, when you do read something in a subject and then the next 6 topics that Google will push you is going to be, through their algorithm is going to be this. So will Bitcoin save the U.S. economy? No. The U.S. economy is $4.7 trillion worth GDP. And actually, we're at 36 trillion now. Our GDP is 27 trillion. Our debt is 36 trillion. We're running about 135% debt to GDP. No, that's just not going to get you anywhere except to the poorhouse. The only reason we can do that, by the way, is what? Because US dollar is the reserve currency of the globe. We can print all we want, right? And then deficit spending is basically what we've been doing. This has nothing to do with Democrat, Republican. Both sides have been doing this. I'm a fair person. I call it the way I see it on the other channel. I call it the way I see it on this channel. So Michael Saylor, again, I mean, this guy is like more famous almost than Elon now. He is definitely the Bitcoin father or grandfather or whatever. He says he's proposing that through the adoption of Bitcoin as a U.S. Treasury asset, we can lower the debt by $16 trillion. All right, well, I'm going to debate this by myself with him because I know he will never come on this channel. First of all, I think we should try all this without getting into, because look, he's talking his book. He has close to now, after this weekend, he's going to own 400,000 Bitcoin at $100. That's $40 billion worth. Well, of course, he wants the U.S. government to come piggyback. He's basically front-running the U.S. government. We used to do that when I was on the desk. If I knew an institution was going to come buy 100,000 shares of Apple, I'm going to buy 100,000 shares of Apple and sell it to you with a nickel profit, guaranteed money. That's what happens today in high-frequency trading, right? So without veering off too much from the subject, he's talking his book. I mean, he also, of course, wants the U.S. government to, put the million to buy a million Bitcoin. What will happen if U.S. government bought a million Bitcoin? Bitcoin will go to like 500,000. Okay, and then he will be richer. Michael Saylor, he is. So before we do any of this, Mr. Saylor, I think we need to give Doge a chance, Department of Government Efficiency, to at least halt this debt from getting out of control. Okay, and find places that we can cut and hopefully reduce this 36 trillion in debt, which to be 37 trillion in 100 days. So in a CNBC interview, Michael said that acquiring 1 million Bitcoins within the next 5 years could significantly decrease the US national debt by 16 trillion. Okay, how's it getting there? How's it getting there? Okay, so government buys every year 200,000 Bitcoin, okay, for 5 years, under the assumption that look, there's 21 million of these things, finite amount, okay? There's supply demand shocks that's going to happen at some point. Is it at 100,000? Is it 200,000? I don't know. But if people buy this and nobody sells this, obviously supply demand, the price is going to go through the roof. It's going to keep going higher and higher and higher with certain corrections. So that's all under the assumption that U.S. government buys it at 100,000 now, and next year they buy it at 200,000. Well, the first 100,000 gained the double, right? Whatever that they put in, and that way. By the way, he had a CNBC interview today, Michael Saylor. Please go watch that. You know what his target is for Bitcoin in 2045? 2045 is not that far. It's only 21 years from now. 13 million apiece. That's his target. You guys didn't hear me incorrectly. 13 million per Bitcoin. We're only at 100,000. We're like less than 0.1% and where he thinks Bitcoin is going in 21 years. So looking at this, with those numbers, yes, we can reduce the debt. But no. Let's not gamble. Let's reduce the debt the right way first. Okay? Let's not reduce the debt in a way that is what he's doing. Let's reduce the debt by controlling our spending. Let's reduce the debt by cutting maybe some size of the government. I'm not saying go lay people off or this or that, but I think at some point, madness has to end, and we need to deal with this. We need to deal with this 36 trillion debt, which segues me into the next topic, my favorite topic. Here it is, 36 trillion with a T in debt we have. It just eclipsed it. I'm pretty sure it's today, not a good anniversary for that, or this weekend. You guys can go check it out. Actually, there's a national debt meter. You guys, it's going, I don't know, it's like a counter. And it's like, I'm kind of like, what are we doing? Why are we mortgaging our kids' future here? What's happening here? But hopefully, again, I'm hopeful that this new administration is going to do something about it. Talk is cheap. Actions speak louder than words. They get into office January 6th. Let's see the first 100 days what they're going to do. They're talking a big game. I'm telling you, that includes Elon and Vivek as the head of Doge.